stuck in life, you should aspire for more. Connect with others who desire to aspire for more. Reach for your goals. When you do, you allow yourself to aspire for more. Dr. Tammy is here to help you aspire for more. Aspire for more.
Hello everyone, how are you doing? I hope you are well. Welcome to another episode of Journey Toward More, a podcast where we discuss topics to help you manifest more. More of what is for you, more of what you desire, more of what is aligned with who you are, more of what honors you on your journey toward more. I am your host, Dr. Tammy Francis, better known as Dr. Tammy, the Catalyst. I'm a strategist, educator, consultant, author, and speaker. I am here to help you move in the direction of more and prepare for what's next, while also sharing mine and sharing how I am doing the same, preparing for what's next. I have a holistic approach to learning and development, and you'll get a glimpse of that here in our conversations. I also can help you leverage the opportunities of the digital economy and emerging technologies. I can help you create a strategy to upskill, reskill, or retool and/or provide access to the resources you need to assist in your transition and growth. I am basically here to empower and equip you with what you need. And this show, I hope, is a catalyst, and I hope that this will not be your last time joining me. And if you are what I consider my OGs, what I guess that other places call their OGs, I guess I call them OCs, original catalyst. I invite you to definitely rate this podcast. If you can rate it, give it a thumbs up, rate it, follow. I encourage you to do that. If you want to share some insights, maybe you have some feedback that's not so positive, feel free to reach out to me. And you can connect with me through my link tree to connect with me and send me a message, an email. Or if you decide that something here has sparked your interest and you are ready to move in the direction of more and prepare for what's next, and you want to book an appointment with me, you can also do that via my link tree. My link tree is linktree/Dr. Tammy Francis. It's also in the show notes, so check that out below. So today's episode is about, and I struggle with the title. So whatever title's on on the podcast, when you click on it, that's it. That's what I landed on. But I think of this one as Make Magic, or Magic Happens. And we're going to talk about how you can make magic and make magic happen. So, but that's a little long. Y'all know I like short titles. So we'll see if I keep them both or not. So, so we'll see. Well, that's what we're talking about today. And what that means when you're talking or having a conversation with Dr. Tammy. Because depending on your schema, your background knowledge and experiences, when I said make magic or magic happens, your brain took you somewhere. So let's just talk about it. So one thing about me that I may have shared on a previous episode, maybe not, but I know when something is not right if I procrastinate. That is my thing. I know some people may eat, some people may work out harder, some people may do different things. But for me, I know when something is out of alignment when I'm procrastinating. And when I procrastinate, there's no connection to whatever the task is. I have no passion for it. Like, I haven't figured out either if I know enough to do it, if I have the desire to do it, if I want to do it. There's something that's not clicking for me. And I haven't found out my true connection to that thing and how I want to tackle it, so to speak. I think about my dissertation and that topic. There were moments during that process where writing about the topic, because it wasn't my original topic. I had another topic that I was really passionate about, that I really wanted to do. I wanted to write about. But I was advised to save that for later and write about and do my dissertation on something different. And because that during that shift, in that time, I realized that even though I was encouraged to write, I was told to write, I had deadlines, nothing happened. Just nothing happened. And I realized that there was a connection with I had to learn more, the knowledge that I had around it. And then I had to have this desire for it, like the desire. I had to release the desire of the other topic and get desire and that want, that passion for this topic. So sometimes things don't click for me. Sometimes it happens when I'm unsure. When I'm unsure about something, I move slow. So I don't necessarily procrastinate, but I move slowly and cautiously. And I doubt sometimes my decision at different points. And so nothing happens, or it doesn't happen as fast because I'm moving. And it would seem like intention, but it's really not, because it's coming from a place of doubt and being unsure. So it's confidence that I lack in those moments. And so therefore I move a little slower. I move a little cautiously. And I use those words because they're not as negative as what they may be. It's like, I also tie indecisiveness with my moving slow and cautiously. So that's probably more accurate. I think about the time when I was buying a house. It took a minute, to make the decision. Is right now the right time? Housing prices were going up. Interest rates were low, but the prices of homes had doubled from what they were the year before. Shortly after the pandemic, and so I'm thinking, should I buy a house? No. So I was unsure if I was making the right decision. So then I moved very slow. I would do a little bit. Okay, I'll get the financing. Then I'll get a realtor. Then I was moving very slow. I wasn't doing all these things simultaneously and making it happen fast. And then when I became sure, things started to happen a little faster. But initially, I was so unsure that my confidence was lacking in those moments. And those are just a few situations where it was either my knowledge, it was my desire, it was my confidence, that really kept me in a place where I wasn't being as productive as I knew I could be, as I wanted to be, and as I should have been. So, which is really interesting. And so a lot of what I talk about is setting goals and goal setting, this idea of let's clarify your vision, let's create an action plan, let's execute it. And then when you're ready, if you want to make it profitable, then let's monetize your vision. And those are the 4 steps that in everything that I do when you work with me, those are the steps that we're going through. Some people don't make it through all 4 steps. They either end their work with me or they don't purchase additional sessions with me because I think they're missing one of the 4 components. And I was listening to Michael Burt, and I think And this is when it really clicked for me. Like when we are missing one of 4 components, that's when we don't reach our goals. That's when we find ourselves being stagnant. That's when we find ourselves being frustrated that we're not getting something done when we know we should get it done. When we set goals, we must do the things necessary to reach them. But even though we have one of these 4 things, it seems like it's going to happen, but it doesn't. It falls flat or it just halts, And so if there is no action, then I want to share the 4 things that I encourage you to evaluate. And a lot of what I talk about, a lot of what we talk about together here on the podcast is this idea of reflection and being reflective. And so as you're listening to me in your car, or cleaning your house, or, whatever it is that you're doing where you can listen to this safely, and a lot of it is, I do think that some of you will listen to this multiple times because you'll float into that reflective place. And I'm okay with that, but definitely come back and listen to some of the pieces you missed. So these are 4. So the first one is knowledge. And knowledge is looking at the mind, right? Those facts, the information, and the skills that we acquire through experience or education, formal or informal, right? It's this theoretical and practical understanding. It's also this awareness that we get from experience. And y'all know that I'm big on experience and exposure to things. And so knowledge, that's where that experience come in. The experience allows for that understanding. The knowledge, it's learning. It's in academia, we like to say scholarship is our scholarship. It's sharing those things that we know, the facts, the information, and the things we've acquired along the way from all the readings and the things that we've studied, right? Knowledge. Many times that's the first thing. And that's, we've learned that from very young age. We go to school, we learn things, we gain the knowledge. The second piece of this process of making the magic happen is the skill. Is where you learn the ability to act with good execution and an outcome. Like you do something and positive things happen. You're successful. Most of the time we equate that to success, right? It's this our ability to use our knowledge. So you have the knowledge, but then you have the skill, the ability to use that knowledge effectively and readily in execution or performance, depending on what it is, right? And it's this ability to do something competently and most times efficiently, right? In addition to the effectiveness. And so skill is that learned ability to act, right? To do something. The third is desire. Now, knowledge and skill, you could probably say, yeah, I got that. I've been hearing those things. But the other piece is desire. Desire is this strong feeling of wanting to have something. This strong intention or aim is centered around or centered on motivation and this drive. Desire is this want, right? All of our desires originate through the thought or originate at the thought level, but they are fueled. You are motivated by the emotion. So when I think about desire, I think about your heart. I think about that part of the emotion, that internal feeling that you just can't touch or describe, but it's this deep desire that you want something. And the fourth is confidence. Now, let me tell you a little bit something about desire and confidence. Let me say desire again. Desire is a strong feeling of wanting. Confidence is the feeling, and I like to, sometimes people say or belief, but I think it's plus belief that you can, or one can rely on something or someone. And we're going to get to the someone in just a moment. But it's this firm trust. It's this self-assurance. It's internal. It's this self-assurance rising from your own ability or your qualities. Your own abilities to do something. Your own qualities that you possess. Confidence is that feeling. Now notice that desire and confidence both stem from a feeling. This feeling of wanting and this feeling of you can do it. You got this. You trust yourself. When you have knowledge, skill, desire, and confidence, that's when the magic happens. That's when you make magic. When you can make magic and make magical things happen. You need all four of those to be present. And here, get this, pause, because it's not it. Plus, and whichever word is the best one at this moment, and align with your goals. So those four things must be happening. Whatever goal you've set, they must be aligned with that particular goal. They must be attached to their goal. It can't be if you have 3 goals that two of those is aligned with goal number 1 and 1 is aligned with goal number 2 and 3 are aligned with goal number 3. You can't, no. In order for the magic to happen, you must have those 4 things aligned with each of your goals. And if you don't, that's what you have to evaluate. That's what you have to explore. And when we think about this, we're talking about the mind, the body, your heart, and your spirit. I think of knowledge as the mind. The skill is your body because it's typically kinesthetic, something you're doing, the task, right? To do something competently based on what you've learned. Skill is the body. Desire is the heart because that's where the emotions originate. Right there. And spirit is confidence. Confidence is spirit. And I always say seeds for the soul. And I think that's part of it. The spirit. So you must need all of those things in alignment within yourself in order to create whatever it is you want to create. In order to bring to market what you want to bring to market, in order to do what you desire to do, in order to reach those goals that you desire to reach. So if you're ever wondering why, wait a minute, I have the knowledge, I have the skill, but nothing is happening. That's because something is missing. There's something missing from those things. And if you look at those 4, 50% of that equation that I just gave you for accomplishing your goals is based on how we feel. The feeling of want, that desire, the feeling of you can. You not only have to have the motivation and the drive, but you must trust yourself and have trust in yourself. So typically, many things, I know I have the knowledge. I know I have the skill. Many times I even have that passion, that desire. But if confidence is lacking, if I don't trust myself in this moment, trust in myself, then that task is on pause. The goal is not met. Those are things that happen when you don't have all four. And that's just one example. But you can have all the action plans. You can have all the things in alignment. You may have gone out and purchased everything, all the tools and materials you need to do something, to work on this, DIY project. You may have it all, but then nothing happens. It just sits there. It's because you can have all of the action plans and all the things in place in the world. But if you don't have all four of those, nothing will happen. It will be difficult to manifest more. And this podcast is talking about the journey toward more, but episode 41 for this year, for this season, was about manifesting more. And to manifest more, you have to have all four of those. You have to ask, you have to visualize, you have to affirm. And that's what I talk about in episode 41. But most of all, you have to feel it. You have to have the desire and you have to have the confidence. You have to have all four of those in order for it to happen, to manifest. So I'm just going to encourage you to if there's something that you're wondering, why don't I just do it? It'll only take a couple of hours. It will only take a few trips. It will only, if I just do it. But there's a reason why you're not doing it. And it may be one of those four. Do you think you have the knowledge? Do you think you have all the understanding about it? Do you have to take another course? Do you need to talk to a mentor? Do you need to connect with an organization who does the same work, who may be able to provide you statistics and some insight? Do you have the knowledge? How about the skill? Have you really applied that knowledge? That's what skills are. It's applied knowledge. It's you taking your learned abilities and put some action behind it. Are you doing something with it? Are you applying it? Do you have the desire? As they say, the desires of your heart. What are the desires of your heart? Do you know what those are? And are those a part of your goals? Or is it something totally different? Are you connected to it in that way? And confidence. Do you have that confidence? Deep down inside, do you trust yourself? Do you trust? Do you trust in yourself? Do you have that self-assurance in your own qualities, your own abilities? That's important for you to know that you got this. You have everything you need inside you, within all those things that I mentioned. So that's my charge to you. That's my call to action. Look at those goals that you set in January of 2024 or whatever year you're listening to this podcast, because I'm hoping it lives on and on. What's stopping you? Which piece of those four is stopping you? Why are you not making magic? Because the magic happens when we complete something, we achieve something, we feel successful, and we have that just where our superpowers have been unleashed, where we are just thinking we can do anything and conquer anything. Just that amazingness is there. If you don't have that feeling, why? What's missing? And if it's missing, is that so important that maybe you need to adjust or abort? That may be a whole podcast in itself, to adjust or abort and when to do that. But this is kind of that first step, thinking about that. Make magic. Knowledge, skills, desire, confidence, mind, body, heart, and spirit. Make sure they're all in it. They're all a part of it. And that's how we make our dreams turn into goals and turn into reality. Listen, there are ways that you can connect with me. Definitely go to my link tree. check it out, see what I have, the latest and greatest, support some of the causes and foundations that I'm on that are raising money to do some amazing things in the world to help with knowledge and skills, right? Because we have people who come to us with the desire, the confidence, but they need to acquire the knowledge and skills. And many of the organizations are about education, learning, and development, and developing social capital, human capital. So looking at those and seeing if that's something that you want to support in 2024 as we go forward, or whatever year you're listening to this. Also there, you can book an appointment with me, a one-on-one. You can join my trip to Morocco. We're having a retreat, an intensive retreat for 7 days, really 7 days, 6 nights. And we're going to have that in Morocco, May 13th through the 19th of 2024. And if you want to join that, the sign-up link will be below in the show notes, and you can, in the description, and you can click on that and go and sign up, learn more, and decide if this trip is for you. It is an investment. I'm not going to shy away from that or make it sound like it's not. It's an investment, but you will have an amazing time. We will have time together to do some of this planning and execution. We will also have time to rest, relax, and do those things you do when you visit a new place or a different place that's not your place. We're going to sightsee. We're going to do some of those things and take some excursions. So I invite you to join us in Morocco. This will be an annual trip. So join us for this inaugural one, and you won't be disappointed. I'm also working with a wonderful group of ladies on an anthology project. We are still accepting authors for the next week. We're going to have a meeting. We may extend it another week, but we're having an anthology project that's called The Power of Umoja. And I invite you to join us if you have a story of the power of unity and how unity has either transformed or helped you grow or has increased your impact or influence. We invite you to come tell your story. It's your story, it's a narrative, and it's the ability for you to reach people in the way that you feel most comfortable. And the last thing that I'll mention today is I'm going live. It's been a while. I've been live inconsistently. I've been live here and there. And so this year is about creating a flow that works for me and figuring out what consistency looks for me. So, of course, I have the podcast. Right now it's weekly. As things pick up around the summer, it'll probably move into bi-monthly. But right now, that's what we're doing, and that's the goal. And so definitely through May, it is weekly. And then for the summer, we'll go from there when we get there, what that will look like according to my schedule. And then the fall will come back to our weekly schedule. But I'm doing the podcast. Thank you for joining me. Thank you for listening. Thank you for sharing it with a friend. For those of you who found that that an episode or something resonated with you and you feel like it would help someone else, thank you. But I'm also going live again. It's been a while since I've gone live too. So I'm going live again. So Dr. Tammy Talks. Right now, those have been monthly. And so they may become more frequent. Dr. Tammy Talks is on YouTube, is simultaneously streamed to YouTube, Facebook, and X. And then I don't necessarily stream live to LinkedIn depending on the topic, but I will post the recording from YouTube on my LinkedIn. So if you want to join me live, make sure you're following my YouTube, my Facebook, or X for those broadcasts. And then on TikTok, and I'm going to try to do, if I can get my devices to cooperate, I'm going to do that one with IG. So we'll see. But I'll be on TikTok 2 days a week. I will be announcing that schedule, so make sure you're following me at Dr. Tammy Francis when those 2 days will be. And it will be Dr. Tammy on tap, because it's going to be like, I won't call it office hours because I'm not going to be spilling too much tea. I will be sharing some of, depending on what's going on in the world. So it's kind of like an Ask Me Anything, but it is an opportunity where I'm available and we can have conversations. And I used to have a show called Dr. Tammy After Dark, and I think it's going to be a twist on that. Because it will be in the evenings, Central Standard Time, so CST. So for those of you in other places, you may not be, you may be asleep unless you're having one of those sleepless nights. So just stay tuned. Hopefully I can vary the times where those 2 times kind of hit different, hit everyone, and you can join both times, hopefully. And if not, definitely one of them. So those are some things I have coming up that I definitely want you to look out for. So March is going to be big with bringing some of those things back and finding my rhythm with those. So those may adjust for a few months until I figure out that flow with my crazy schedule. So thank you all for listening. Thank you all for hanging around. If you're at this point, you listen to all my announcements and the latest and greatest that's going on with me today. And I hope you'll join me again next week, and you will share this podcast with someone in your circle that could benefit from reevaluating their goals and looking at those 4 pieces in order to make magic happen in their life. Make things happen. Y'all have a great rest of your day, the rest of your week, and I look forward to helping you on your journey toward more, manifest more, and reap more. Thank you. Talk to you soon.
Stuck in life, you should aspire for more. Connect with others who desire to aspire for more. Reach for your goals. When you do, you allow yourself to aspire for more. Dr. Tammy is here to help you aspire for more. When you believe in yourself, anything is possible. Believe in yourself, you'll get more. You should aspire for more. Aspire for more. You should aspire for more. You should aspire for more. When you believe in yourself, anything is possible. Believe in yourself and get more. You should aspire.